the Torah it says like not to lie, right?
Not to
Lie.
What are you referring to exactly?
Like, you can't. It's not good to lie to people, right? Like.
Okay, go on. Continue
Yeah,
the question.
And like, is it like? Does it say like not to like? What about hiding stuff from people? Like, I don't know. Is that like banned as well? I don't know.
In what context, hiding stuff from people? For example,
like doing something like that. I don't know. Like doing something that you're not allowed. I guess, but never actually lying about it. Like just.
Well, let me ask you this: I'm a Nazi standing at your door, and you're a non-Jew, hiding some Jews upstairs in the attic. Should you tell me the truth when I ask you hiding Jews, or should you tell me a lie? What's the right thing?
A lie, I guess.
Okay.
But then what if like those Jews are murderers?
Well, that's another story. But let's assume they're innocent Jewish people for now. I mean, unless you want to demonize every Jew. But yes, let's just say they're innocent. Then what's the right thing?
To lie.
To lie, yeah. In some ways, people think this is in contradiction with the truth. But actually, it might not be, and I'll explain how. So first of all, as far as I'm aware, there is a principle in Judaism of telling the truth and speaking truth, and a belief in emet. But the specific question that's issue of do not tell a lie, sometimes a lie, in other words, hiding the literal truth, is the right thing to do. Because the truth is that these Jews are innocent. So you're not actually shying away from the truth. You're just engaged at a deeper level of what truth means. And sometimes truth means that you should hide. Or you should not tell people the literal whereabouts of someone or something. So the thing that some people are referencing when they say, doesn't the Judaism or Torah say don't tell a lie? It actually says don't bear false witness in court. It's a very specific type of prohibition. That's about when you're in a court, don't bear false witness and claim you saw something when you didn't, or claim you didn't see something when you did, right? But the issue of, let's say, forget out of the courtroom in day-to-day life, sometimes it can not just be, just the sensible thing to do, it can be the right thing to do. Like, for example, if you're trying to save someone's life. And you know who actually tells a quote-unquote lie for the sake of truth? You know who does that? In the Torah, in the Bible, in the first book of the 5 books of Moses? God himself. God himself does this. You know why? Because Sarah is told that she's going to have a child. And she says, that's ridiculous. I'm so old. I've been infertile all my life, and now certainly in my old age. But she also says that her husband, in my husband's old age. And so when God speaks to Abraham, he says that she referenced her own age rather than his. Right? In other words, to protect shalom bayit, to protect the peace between the husband and wife. Not to create any potential room for conflict or discord or whatever. And that's an amazing thing that we see for the sake of marital peace. Sometimes you can avoid being specific or bend the literal words of what people say, because the truth is that marital peace and peace in the home is more important than a little petty conflict. And it's not worth starting that. Now, you have to be very careful with this principle, and it requires guidance. But we see even Jacob himself. Jacob, who is the 3rd patriarch, what does he do? He pretends to be Esau, pretends to be Esau. Now, this is a complicated issue. When he goes, you're familiar with the story where he goes to his father and seeks the blessing from Isaac, who was blind, so he couldn't tell.
Yeah,
who was...
we did it once, like a few months ago. So he went, he pretended to be his brother.
Right.
And he came back and he asked him, and then his real brother came.
Mm-hmm.
And Esau said, Isaac said he had already given him
Yeah, exactly. But there we see another example of deception, because it would have been disastrous for Esau to have taken the blessing. So the issue of when to tell the literal truth, or perhaps do something that's not in line with the literal truth, but is for the sake of a greater truth, sometimes it's not always straightforward. This also applies similarly with regard to killing. People say, doesn't the Torah say you shall not kill? No, it says you shouldn't murder. That's a big difference. Murder is killing an innocent. Sometimes, though, killing, let's say you're killing a terrorist, is the right thing to do. So it doesn't say killing outright is wrong. To quote those Harvard and University of MIT professors, it depends on the context in this instance. It actually does. So yeah. So it's do not bear false witness and it's do not murder. It is not do not lie and do not kill. Very different.
If we're trying to, and I use this word carefully, and I understand the ideas that has behind it, but if we are trying to manipulate the facts that we present, surely we're only opening ourselves up to deceiving ourselves.
Okay, let me be completely unequivocally clear. When I say sometimes there's a duty to manipulate the facts, I'm talking about very unique and very, very limited cases. Okay? Like, for example, I cannot imagine anyone would disagree with me. It's basically just common sense. I can't imagine anyone would disagree with me that when it comes to protecting an innocent person, when there's a murderer at your door, you tell a lie. I think also when it comes to personal relationships, if, let's say, you're really busy, but and you can't see a friend later, but you don't want to hurt their feelings. You've got to be very careful with it because of where you can end up. And it's always better to err on the side of being as truthful as you can with your words. But sometimes when it comes to protecting other people's feelings, there's a duty there. So we're kind of balancing, on the one hand, speaking the truth, and also maintaining peace and protecting other people.